Today we're going to be making simple 2-ingredient homemade pasta. Welcome back to our kitchen, where we show you how to make delicious, family-friendly recipes. Today we're going to share with you how to make our delicious homemade pasta without the need for a pasta machine. It takes a little bit of elbow grease, but it's totally worth it, and you can also freeze it to use later. There are a few different types of flour that you can use on a like-for-like basis, depending on what you can get hold of. First of all, most commonly used is pasta or OO flour. This is a high-protein flour that produces a pasta that's smoother and chewier. Then there's semolina flour, and that produces a slightly coarser pasta, which allows the sauce to cling to the pasta a little bit better. And then finally there's plain or all-purpose flour, and that result gives you somewhere in between the two previous ones. We're going to use all-purpose flour today because that's what most people have in their store cupboard. So I'm going to start by adding 420 grams, which is about 3 1/4 cups of plain all-purpose flour, and 4 large eggs to a bowl. The traditional way of making pasta by hand is to start with a large mound of flour and then place the eggs in the centre of the mound. And then you'd slowly incorporate the flour into the eggs and then knead the dough for about 5 minutes until you get a nice smooth dough. You can do it like that if you like, but if you want to save a ton of time, you can also just do it in a food mixer. Use the dough hook and start mixing slowly until it comes together as a ball. You might need a little splash of water or a little bit of extra flour depending on if the dough looks dry or sticky. Once it forms into a ball, increase the speed to medium and mix for 5 minutes until the dough is smooth. Take the dough out of the bowl and wrap in cling film or wax paper, ensuring it's fully covered so the dough doesn't dry out, and place in the fridge for at least 30 minutes and up to 12 hours. Remove from the fridge and split the dough into 4 pieces. Roll the dough out on a lightly floured surface until the dough is as thin as you can possibly get it. If you've got a pasta machine, then of course you can use that instead at this stage. So now we've got that pasta dough nice and thin. You can see, I can pretty much see my hand through it. So now you can slice it into any shape that you want to. You could do it into large rectangles for lasagna, small squares for ravioli, or you can make it into tagliatelle like I'm going to. If you're going to make it into tagliatelle, then you want to dust some flour on the top of the dough, roll it up loosely, and then slice it. Use your fingers to separate out the strands and place on a plate in portions. And that's my simple homemade pasta. You can cook it right away, or you can place in the refrigerator for 2 to 3 hours before cooking. Alternatively, if you want to freeze it, then open freeze on a tray before transferring to a container. You'll want to cook the pasta for 2 to 3 minutes in boiling salted water, and you're done. What are you going to serve with yours?